Hey there everybody, hope your day is going well. JK with Old School Gaming here, and welcome back to another Wild Wednesday. Wow, this is Wild Wednesday 12. Jeez. That means it's, been it's been a year that I've been doing these, and, I'm rocking a Nezuko shirt today. I'm sure by now the Swordsmith Village arc is in full swing, and, should be pretty good. I went to the theaters and it wasn't really a movie, it was more of a recap type of thing with a preview of the first episode for the next season. But totally worth it to see it on the big screen. Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. Apparently, there's something odd about the wet dry world in Super Mario 64. Not quite sure what's going on there. It was actually a lot more fun than I honestly expected it to be. But we have about 9 minutes to find out what's going on with the negative energy of wet dry world from someone who calls themselves Odd Sweater. Well, at least it's a unique name. Well, let's find out what's going on with the wet dry world.
It's me, Mario!
Super Mario 64, the best-selling game for the Nintendo 64 with around 12 million copies sold. This game has lived on throughout the years, whether it's through nostalgic childhood memories, the incredible speedrunning community that backs this game every day, or the talented individuals that build whole new experiences for Mario and for us to live out within the game's engine. There's something weird hiding beneath the depths of this game. Upon beating Bowser for the second time, and unlocking the access to the second floor of Peach's castle, you're granted with a plethora of different levels you can jump into. Some of these levels include enemies that can be humongous and tower over you, while some features enemies that are incredibly small.
Actually, that's the same exact level, just from different perspectives. You can go in and be Big Mario, little enemies, or you can go in and be Little Mario, big enemies. And depending on, which star you're going for, you either have to be one, the other, or in a few cases, both. Okay, so you're talking about getting up to the second floor of the castle, and that's where Wet Dry World is, so, let's find out what's going on there.
Some of these levels include gigantic mushrooms surrounding the mountain you traverse, while others are a winter wonderland with a friendly snowman in the middle that might be a little bit too big for his own good. These levels are fun and all, but there's one that everyone seems to remember. That level being Wet Dry World. Wet Dry World is one of Super Mario 64's tricky water-based levels, with its overall stage gimmick being its raisable water level. While this level sounds interesting, we're not here to talk about the level design itself, but rather the level's atmosphere. While we can all agree that water levels in most platforming games are bad, and can leave that sour taste in our mouths while playing, that's not the eerie feeling I'm talking about right now.
Really now, an eerie feeling? I don't quite understand that, but that's what I'm here to find out. When I played the Wet Dry World in my own Super Mario 64 Let's Play series, I found it actually quite a bit less frustrating than I thought it would be, because I figured, oh great, it's an underwater level, I have to, deal with these stupid-ass inverted controls. Ugh, yeah. Yeah, so, I was thinking, oh boy, this is going to be extremely frustrating. But, I got in, I started doing things, I managed to get the 100 coin star my first time in, and I'm just, okay, well, then I guess I just have to get the rest of the stars. And, it actually worked out pretty well. I got them, one after next after next. It was just a domino effect after that 100 coin star. Yeah, I didn't find it eerie or anything. I found it, quite a bit less frustrating than I would have expected an underwater level. Well, it's not entirely underwater because you can adjust the water level, but yeah, it's a water level. And it was, definitely quite a bit less frustrating than I expected it to be. So, where's the eerie component? I don't know, we're just barely over a minute in, so there's plenty of time to find out.
While having different experiences is common when remembering nostalgic childhood video games, we're not here to discuss the custom-tailored Super Mario 64 game. The true culprit is Wet Dry World specifically, and how it's become the unanimously creepy level it is, even being compared to levels like Big Boo's Haunt. How can this weird water level be scarier than that fucking piano.
That's a good question. I mean, yeah, that piano, I mean, I was kind of expecting it, because I did play through Super Mario 64 once before I completely beat the game one time before I did my Let's Play records. And, yeah, so I was definitely expecting the piano. Then again, yeah, personally, I mean, it's like, it's called Big Boo's Haunt. You're gonna expect things to start, screwing with you out of nowhere. Honestly, the only thing I didn't really expect when I first played through was all the books flying off the bookshelves. Yeah, I like, just, like, trying to look at things from a different perspective. Yeah, I mean, maybe that, giant piano with gnashing teeth would definitely be creepy, but yeah, so that's a good question. How is the Wet Dry World creepier than that?
To simply describe the level layout of Wet Dry World, we need to discuss its many layers that make up the design. Due to the level's manually changing water level, the world has to be broken up into different levels to accommodate for this. This water level, like most others, is within the confines of 4 Great Walls, and has a tower-like structure in one of the corners of the map. Whether you jump up these layers or use the water to carry you up, you will see that each layer has plenty of room to explore, but it comes across as very empty until the upmost layers. When not being introduced to these enemies, one can assume that this is the home of the very odd enemy, Skeeter. Skeeters are the weird spider-like enemies that glide across the water, and are very commonly known as enemies in the painting of Wet Dry World. Side note, I learned that these enemies aren't exclusive to the 2 iterations of Super Mario 64, but also appear in Sunshine and Galaxy 2, with completely different designs.
Well, that's definitely an interesting to know. I mean, honestly, I haven't played at all, Super Mario Sunshine or the, damn it, what was the, oh yeah, Super Mario Galaxy 2. Maybe I should get around to those someday, but, I mean, yeah, for now, I'm plenty upon plenty busy enough. Okay, so, I mean, do these Skeeter things have something to do with why the level's super creepy, or is that just an element?
They also even make a cameo in Mario Party 3. Other notable enemies in the level are the Chuckias, the big purple bomb-like characters that throw you, who reside at the top of the tower. Along the way up, you might see some different faces, like the Heave-Hoes, Amps, and the Canopy Balls. Ah yes, the most memorable Mario character, Canopy Ball. I'll be honest with you, I literally just learned these guys have a name when researching this video.
Oh hell, I didn't know those electro balls just, or no, those are not the electro balls, the fire spitting balls, right. I didn't know even the electro balls had names, honestly, but, well, it's good to learn a little more. So, are you gonna get into why the Wet Dry World is, creepy, I guess? What, you got a little over 5 minutes to go? Or, no, 6. Yeah, okay. I don't know where the hell my math is. Yeah, you got a little over 6 minutes to go. So are you going to talk about Wet Dry World, or are you going to talk about all the enemies in there?
With just simply discussing the main portion of the level, you can agree that this level feels barren, with a lack of enemies. And the incredible amount of white space for a Super Mario 64 level, comparing this level to any other level, including the other water levels and the Bowser courses, this level looks and feels like a wasteland. One very notable aspect about this world is the skybox that surrounds the entire level. This texture is one that people often say contributes the most to that negative feeling this level gives off.
Really? Now, that's interesting, because, I mean, honestly, I didn't pay too much attention to that background skyline, because, I mean, it was kind of, well, there wasn't really too much to it. Most of the design went into the level itself, but you are definitely right. Now that I think about it, there was a very severe lack of enemies.
The skybox at the top is ripples of an ocean, and the sun that is blurry, almost like you're underwater looking up at the sky. Moving down the texture, we see this abandoned town that was presumably sunken underwater. While doing a bit more research on the skybox, I discovered that this town in the skybox is Shibam, a town located in Yemen. Editor's note, if I pronounced that wrong, I am so sorry. I was just kind of reading the script. I really didn't look it up. While traversing this level and getting a good glance at the skybox, one's mind can simply start racing with thoughts and theories on what happened. I mean, there's a sunken town out in the distance that surrounds the entire level, and with a barren feeling of this level, one could describe it as walking through a graveyard. Now, for the ones who played through Super Mario 64, you probably realize I've been neglecting to talk about a certain part of this level. And you'd be right. The area in question is this cage over in the corner of the level. This cage is the tallest obstacle within this course, but somehow is one of the most dismissed.
One of the most dismissed? So you're talking about that, weird town, like, at the end of that tunnel? I mean, hell, when I first, saw that, I'm just, okay, so it's a cage. I'll need the invisible cap to get through it. Where's an invisible cap block? And it wasn't actually until I went into the level, it was the second time, that I realized, hey, wait a minute, I can use the cannon to just shoot myself in there. And then go. That should be good, right? And yeah, I got in there, and that's essentially what started the domino effect of me, getting every single star through that level. So I take it that the weird little town that at the end of the tunnel has something to do with why there's a supposed negative energy of this wet, dry world. Let's find out.
Needing the water level to be raised to the maximum and a little bit of skill, you can make your way down the cage. Following the tunnel that's connected to the cage, you are met with this town. A town completely separated from everything else. Once you drain all the water, you get a better view of this town, and get a better picture of what it once was. The town consists of a small number of buildings built around an altar or a church. Within the center of this town is a very simple fountain or statue structure, which one can assume was a treasure of the town.
How exactly would some weird pyramid thing be the treasure of this town? That does not make any sense at all. Because I mean, it's just a little tiny pyramid that, unless whatever the treasure was got taken away, maybe by the flood, maybe by underwater tomb raiders, something like that. Maybe it was. Maybe, instead of treasure, as you said, it was a fountain, maybe? But it's just, it doesn't work anymore? That would actually make more sense than a treasure. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, there's a lot, well, not a lot, there is a bit to that little town in there, so, I don't know, is there something in there that contributes to this apparent negative energy? I mean, what's going on? Wow, okay, you've been gone for nearly 5 minutes, which means you have a little over 3 minutes to say, what is this negative energy? Wow, this is actually going a lot quicker than I thought it would, but yeah, anyway, back to you.
Walking around this once alive town, you can see things like lush grass and green trees and a cage that holds a power star. Now, if you're like me, you're probably thinking to yourself, how can this town have lush greenery? This town was located in a cave that has no sunlight and was flooded. How can there be plants down here?
Well, we're not exactly, well, I mean, this is Super Mario 64. We're not exactly talking about, a realistic world setting. I mean, hell, Mario can put on, a special cap, start flying around. I mean, hell, if you put on a special cap, could you really just, fly with tiny wings supporting your entire body weight? Probably not. I mean, hell, in this specific level, there is the invisible cap that allows you to go and get that one power star. But, yeah. We're not exactly talking about, realistic world settings, so, all the, the plants and the trees, the grass, that's all kept alive by magic.
I'm gonna assume that Power Star was like the village's sun, because of the constant reminder of how Power Stars power Peach's castle throughout the entire game. But can it really be a replacement for the town's sun? This opens up more questions on how these plants can live completely submerged underwater for so long. Maybe this town wasn't submerged for as long as we think. Maybe this tragedy was actually a recent one.
Really now, that is actually quite interesting. I mean, if it was recent, then how recent? I mean, hell, this was the first Super Mario release after Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo? I want to say it was, but I could be wrong. I don't know. If I am wrong, someone please, go ahead and let me know down in the comments section. Yeah, but okay, so maybe the plants, the trees, and the grass are still alive down there because it was more recent. That is interesting. Do you have any evidence to say that, oh hey, this is a recent happening and here's what happened because this? Do you have any evidence? That's what you need.
While writing this script, I couldn't come to a conclusion for this weird phenomenon. I felt like I was missing something, but I couldn't figure out what exactly it was. This script felt like I had no conclusive end, nor a trail that could lead you, the viewer, to one yourself. That was until I remembered something familiar to this topic. While I was scrolling through YouTube, one night I saw Hungrybox's Super Smash Bros. Melee Iceberg Trilogy, and decided to give them a watch. While this series is great and all, it unlocked this almost core memory to finish this video, and that was the negative energy of Icicle Mountain.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get distracted by other things and you kind of forget to do something, but, I mean, hell, you got what? Yeah, you've got about 3 minutes left to explain what the negative energy of Wet Dry World is. I mean, hell, and at least, hopefully you do actually have some evidence, because you didn't have any before, but then you suddenly got inspired to provide some, so, hell, I'm here for it. Let's find out, what is the, what's the evidence for the negative energy of Wet Dry World?
This is one that I can personally connect to. As a kid, my favorite game was Melee, and today it still is. I would spend countless hours sitting in front of my living room TV with my GameCube hooked up to it, fighting an infinite amount of CPUs. While enjoying this game with my childhood sense of wonder, there was two things in this game that I found unsettling. The first thing I found scary was those re-deads in the Legend of Zelda area in the single player mode, and no I found these things scary. If this low polygon model walked towards you slowly and tried to eat you, I'm pretty sure you'd cheat yourself too.
Well, personally, I never actually got around to playing the GameCube version of Smash Bros. Because I never had a GameCube. Let's see, I did play the 64 version. I played with the Wii Smash Bros. Whatever the hell the different ones are. I did play the one for 3DS. I haven't played anything beyond that, but yeah. Anyway, right? Okay, so. With that said and out of the way, those re-dead things, yeah, I actually encountered those first in Ocarina of Time, and God, those are creepy. I was so glad that, I learned the sun song to paralyze them. It was just, okay, anytime I entered an area with them in there, it's just immediately, play the song, and freeze them, get behind them and kill them. Yeah, those are definitely creepy, I'll give you that. But what does this have to do with Wet Dry World? You've lost me. What did Smash Bros. Or the Re-Deads have anything to do with Super Mario 64 and the Wet Dry World? You've lost me now.
Second thing that would freak me out all the time was Melee's vertical scrolling stage, Icicle Mountain. Icicle Mountain never jump scared me like FNAF, or had some sort of shitty horror buildup like a modern slasher film. Its atmosphere was a bit unsettling though. Naturally, this map doesn't seem like an unsettling map when it came from a happy-go-lucky platformer on the NES. However, take away the music and this map gets a bit more frightening. As a kid, I wasn't always lucky to have sound playing every time I wanted to play video games, so I ran into this strange feeling more than once. Almost people who had played Melee probably never played Icicle Mountain silenced. There is something everyone on this map sees every time they play it. What might that thing be? The desaturated color palette. The one thing this map didn't capture from the joyful NES Ice Climber was the bright saturated colors. Icicle Mountain is the only map in the whole game of Melee that is doomed with this bleak color palette. I understand from a developer standpoint, they wanted the maps in this game to be realistic. But when maps like
Peach's Castle,
Fourside, Great Bay, and Venom contained bright saturated colors, I started getting confused.
Well, let's see. Icicle Mountain, I believe, is also available on the Wii version of Smash Bros. But maybe it's the 3DS, or hell, maybe as well. It's been too long since I played those, so honestly, I don't know. And again, I'm so lost. Unless you're saying like the desaturated color is kind of similar. Okay. So let's take this, one thing at a time. So first off, why would you play without sound unless you're like playing in the middle of the night as a kid, like as you said, as a kid, and you don't want your parents to know? Put on headphones. Even if because hell, I mean, even the old TVs, like during the GameCube era, you could easily find a way to plug in headphones so that way you don't bother anyone and you still get sound. Okay, and then like desaturated color being kind of creepy, especially without sound. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're paying more attention to the terrain than you're fighting, then yeah, you probably would have some creepy feelings if you're just staring at the terrain as it slowly, well, descends and you ascend. But yeah, so does the desaturated color have something to do with like it's kind of empty, it's soulless, kind of like the wet dry world? Are you trying to make a comparison here? Because yeah, I'm still lost here. You have about a minute and a half to get me back on track and find out what in the hell's going on.
While not as popular of a phenomenon as Wet Dry World, Icicle Mountain suffers the same fate, and even shares traits with its more popular counterpart. See, when I was evaluating Wet Dry World, it never came across my mind to compare the colors of Wet Dry World with any other level in the game. The only two levels that feel slightly similar is Big Boo's Haunt and Hazy Maze Cave. When comparing the levels side by side, you can notice a big difference in the color. Big Boo's Haunt and Hazy Maze Caves are surprisingly saturated in color, while Wet Dry World is full of grays and shallow blues. And on the topic of comparing Wet Dry World to Hazy Maze Cave, they share the same music. But did anyone really notice that? That the million times I've played through Super Mario 64, I never noticed the music in Wet Dry World. The volume isn't lowered or altered between levels, it's just so unnoticeable.
Okay, so now I guess we've completely forgotten about what in the hell we were talking about with Smash Bros. Because, well, unless it's like, oh hey, without music it's even creepier than with music, I guess. And then when you like look at the music of Wet Dry World, I don't know. I didn't really pay that much attention to the soundtrack in Super Mario 64. Does that? I mean. And hell, I honestly wouldn't notice if there was a comparison between different levels and their soundtracks, if they're similar or not. I was more concentrated on, trying to get all 120 stars. So does the music have something to do with what's going on? I mean, we're not talking about, Lavender Town from First Gen Pokemon. We're talking about Super Mario 64, which came a while after, or I don't know the exact release dates. Maybe around the same time. I don't know. What else you got for me?
I finally came to the realization on why this level puts chills down my spine. To put it simply, it's because of the level's design. All the depressing colors and a strange music track and the most confusing skybox ever to exist, it's not surprising that the level ended up being the way it is. Most Super Mario 64 levels has very clear storytelling like Bomb Bomb Battlefield, or the more implied stories like Tiny Huge Island. But Dry World feels like the first attempt at a non-direct storytelling, with a vague, empty world that includes a secret town locked away from everyone else. One can only speculate what this was trying to tell us. Whether this town was intentionally flooded in a devious plot, or just so happened to get flooded by their poor structural design. We may never know, and I think that is the most horrifying part about this level.
Wait. That's it? That's it. Like, no, hey, there may be potentially some subliminal messaging with, the music and the way things are designed. Just, oh, we may never know. Really? That's how you're gonna end it? Well, I guess, I guess without more to go on, that's gonna be it. I mean, what the hell? Why do all these theories just end with, oh, well, we don't know, and we may never know. What the hell? Just, at least try and have something. I don't know. I might have enough time to edit this together before I need to get to work today, or maybe not. Who knows? And right now, who cares? So, I found this theory when just, searching around specifically for Super Mario 64 fan theories. And I guess this is one that just has absolutely no evidence and it's complete and total speculation. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, without any, like, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, or something. But no, it's just, oh, we may never know. What? Whatever. Okay, so, I actually did try searching for Conker's Bad Fur Day fan theories, but I couldn't find anything at all. All the, every single result was just, oh, hey, here are, a bunch of different video game fan theories. And I'm just, okay. What about specifically Conker's Bad Fur Day? But, yes, there was just, oh my god. Yeah, like, when I tried searching up Conker's Bad Fur Day fan theories, the only thing I could find was all the reviews, and then, like, like a list of different video game fan theories, and it's just, I don't want a list, I want to see Conker's Bad Fur Day fan theories specifically. So, I don't know, I'll probably take to Reddit and see if, like, hey, if anyone else, or if anyone there might know specifically of Conker's Bad Fur Day fan theories. Hell, I'm sure I could find, maybe some more Super Mario World fan theories, because there was the one that had to do with the, that sunken ship in the middle of the map. And there was actually some decent theories about that, with evidence provided from other games, so, hell, maybe I'll check out Dr. Wily, see if he has any more fan theories. That might actually be a good idea, but anyway. Yeah, I should probably, wrap this up. I mean, hell, like, what, 9 minutes? Well, just under 9 minutes to however the hell long this ends up being. Yeah. Well, I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully I'll be able to find some, different fan theories for maybe some of the other games that I've uploaded, not just First Gen Pokemon. Because if it was just First Gen Pokemon, it'd be pretty much nothing but Proto Mario. Because, yeah. Alright, I'll catch you next one, and hopefully I'll have something, and hopefully, Wednesday won't have to go on a hiatus. I'll see you there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell so you can always be notified whenever I upload another video. And of course, have fun.